Welcome back one and all to Trails to Azure. I'm the TheDarkSeraph. Last time we walked around in the rain, helped a little girl find her lost umbrella. This time... I need to go to IBC. Oh, God. Here we are. Let's head up to the counter and ask about the Chief Robert's request. Oh, look who it is. Hello, Dieter. Maribel. Mayor Croix. And Maribel, too. Are you working at the IBC today? That's right. I had a bit of bank business piling up that I couldn't put off any longer. Thankfully, Belle was here to help for me to lean on. We knocked it out in no time. Hello, everyone. It feels like ages since I've last seen you. How have you been, Ellie? Stop that, Fred. I've been well. The SSS resumed activities yesterday, in fact. Knock that out. Knock it off. Stop with the noise. I will open up the house for you when I'm done recording. I don't need you fluttering around swooping me while I'm trying to record. Let me have a good look at you. Whoa. Belle, please. You're in tip-top shape. So soft, so warm, supple yet muscular to the touch. Oh, I could just eat you up. Enough. You're going to give everyone the wrong idea. By the way, Lloyd, you haven't tried anything uncouth with my dear sweet Ellie, have you? No, who do you think I am? A dangerous man, that's what. Don't think for a second that I'll be taking my eyes off of you, Lloyd Bannings. You know what'll happen if I catch wind of you sullying Ellie's innocence, don't you? You always know how to catch a lady's eye, Lloyd. Or death glare in this case. Honestly, Belle. Come on, Belle. Is this any way to speak to your peers? Take it easy on the poor fellow. It's good to see you again, ladies and gentlemen of the Special Support Section. Above all, it gladdens me to know that Noel and Wazzy are fitting right in as your newest members. Allow me to take the opportunity to congratulate the SSS on officially returning to active duty. That's kind of you to say. You have my gratitude once again for that letter of recommendation. And thank you very much for the orbital car as well. Getting the honor to sit behind her wheel is a dream come true. Glad to hear it. I do hope that it proves useful to your work. Moments like these make becoming a new mayor all the worth it. It's rather stressful balancing time between the mayoral duties and being the CEO of IBC. Fredward, stop that. Thank you. You have no one to blame for that but yourself, Father. You have a horrible habit of accepting work when you're already drowning in it, leaving me the job of fishing you out. I'm sorry, Belle, but when Crossbell's welfare is on the line, I just can't bring myself to go any less than full speed. I don't deny I sometimes bite off more than I can chew, but I like to think that I have the tendency to go above and beyond. Grandfather has always admired that about you, Uncle. I heard him speak often about how dearly Crossbell needs young, forward-thinking politicians like yourself. That's high praise coming from someone as seasoned as Speaker McDowell. However, I'm still only a novice in the political arena. There's much for me to learn, especially from someone like him. Ah, yes, Father. Isn't it nearly time for your meeting at City Hall? I almost forgot. Please excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it is. Duty calls. No problem. Sorry for stopping you like this when you're busy. Oh no, not at all. It was good catching up with you all. If you ever run into trouble at work, don't forget, my door is always open to the SSS. Thank you. I promise I'll do everything in my power to help you. We appreciate it. Please take care. Oh, Ellie, you're always too sweet. Bye for now, members of the SSS. Until next time. They seem as busy as ever. They must be putting all of their attention on the trade conference at the end of the month. At this point, I suspect that their schedules are planned out to the minute. Well, clearly, orbital car donations aren't the extent of how far they're willing to go out of their way for us. Yeah, the SSS is in their debt. I just hope they're finding time for themselves, too. Anyway, let's not forget why we came here. Chief Roberts' request is waiting for us. To the reception desk. Good evening, Landfee. Ah, Miss McDowell, Detective Bannings, it's been some time since your last visit. I see the SSS has resumed operations. Yes, and not a moment too soon. You can just expect we'll be coming by in the IBC more often. I'm looking forward to it. What brings you here today? We were requested by Chief Roberts of the Epstein Foundation. Ah, I see. I could certainly help you there. But before that, there's something I should inform you of. I believe the exchange service card you were given earlier this year expired. As such, I prepared a new one for you. Simply present that card at the counter the way you did before. We'll exchange your Sepet for Mira at a higher rate than your typical find elsewhere. Cool. Are you sure this is alright, letting us use the service, that mean? Naturally, you're good friends of the Croyce family. That you should have access to this small convenience is but a matter of course. Well, who do we turn our noses up at that Who are we to turn our noses up to that generosity? We'll be sure to make use of it. Of course, all you need to do is ask. I'll call Chief Roberts for you now. Hello there, SSS. It's good to see you, Chief Roberts. Were you here about my request? This is a huge help. I really wanted to make sure I got you in particular for this job. Well, it sounded fun enough to pique our interest. The request says something about user acceptance testing for a new product. I believe it's called Pom Party. The name sounds familiar. Yeah, I feel like Tio's mentioned it once or twice. Well, you're gonna have to get the kick out of this one, you'll believe me. So, can you get started right away? The long and short of it is we plan to release a fun little orbital game called Pom Pom Party. It's a program that orbital terminal owners can play with one another via the orbital network. Is this any way different from, say, a game of like billiards or poker? Well, it's similar that you compete for victory and that there are rules to be followed. However, this one's major difference is this game is not played on a physical surface but a terminal screen. Technology's really making strides. Games played on computer screens? Not believable. I just can't imagine it. Completely unrealistic. Video games, like that's ever going to take off. Exactly. I want you to playtest Pom Party. Errors often occur during the development cycle, so quality assurance is critical. This is such an important step. Why not have someone from the Foundation take care of it? Good question. Normally we would be asking Tio for help with this, but that presents a certain problem. Actually, two problems to be more specific. Problems major enough to lead me to seek help outside the Foundation. And what would those be? Well, first off, Tio's had a habit of activating her Aeon system from time to time when testing the game. Consequently, whenever the data we received from her would always end up skewed. I believe it has something to do with the gear that Tio wears for work. I heard her give a brief explanation before. If I remember right, it's what she uses when operating orbital terminals and stabs. At least, I think anyway. Shush, phone. I suppose this could be a good opportunity to explain things from the top. The Aeon system is the name of the program built into Tio's chest protector. It supports low latency arts activation from orbital staves, and even enhances her high-speed data processing abilities. You can think of these two features as the Aeon system's primary function, but it bears nothing that mastering a complicated system takes considerable aptitude. Right. I have to admit, it's hard to parse these kinds of subjects without her to elaborate. So what you're saying is that that system of hers runs counter to testing procedures. In a way. When Tio uses her Aeon system, she can perform chains that no average player could. She tends to wipe the floor with whoever she's playing. Yona is the usual victim. He's never won a single time. But I'm not saying that Tio is cheating or anything. I mean, she kind of is. Please don't tell her I said that. Sure. That's one reason. What's the other? Good question. The other has to do with the fact that the game is what we call a competitive multiplayer. Competitive multiplayer, it's not going to take off, dude. Just get real. Like I said before, it's designed for users to play with each other remotely across the net. With that in mind, I feel it would be best to conduct a practical test with a smaller scope, such as within the city. I think I understand what you're getting at. Though I have to say, playing the game with someone several districts away sounds incredible. Believe it or not, projects like this have been in the works since the early days of the Orbital Network project. Once the net becomes more widespread, even more people will be able to play and enjoy the game. For example, you can play with your friends on a rainy day like this without ever leaving your home. Games on the Orbital Network, what a time to be alive. I may have rambled on a bit there, but I think that's the gist of it. Thank you, here. This is a present for your time. Pom Pom Party Beta. Is this a memory quartz? It sure is. That memory quartz has Pom Party's application data stored on it. Put it in your terminal at the SSS building, and once the installation is complete, you can play right away. Installation? That's when you configure program data to operate on a computer. I've seen Tio perform installations before, so I think we can manage. Perfect. Let's go handle that, Ellie. I should give you these two. My Enigma number for Pom Party account ID. Am I the only one who's starting to feel a little overwhelmed? Basically, it's like the name you use on the Orbital Network. It's sort of required to play the game. You don't have to think much about it. So, no need to worry for now. Just input it into the program once you've installed the Pom Data Beta. After that, call me on your Enigma and tell me what I should do next. I'll tell you what to do next. That's all. Think you can handle it? I think so. We'll manage. Okay, let's go play a puzzle game. According to Chief Roberts, all we have to do is install this memory quartz into the terminal. Would you do the honors, Ellie? I'd be happy to. That should do it. I also inputted the account information Chief Roberts provided us with. Well, aren't you a regular little tech whiz? Are you that surprised? There's nothing Ellie can't handle. Not a lot of people our age know half as much about law or politics as her either. To be fair, I only knew what to do because I've seen Tio work on the terminal before. I've also read through the instruction manual. Everything seemed easy enough. Still, we really appreciate it. I mean, I only just learned how to use a keyboard. You're very welcome. Now then, shall we contact Chief Roberts? Yeah, let's do this. Hello there, Lloyd. I take it that the installation went without a hitch. Yeah, everything turned out okay. What should we do next? Well, what else? Let's give it a shot and play around. Go ahead and boot up Pom Party from your terminal. My account name should display on your screen. Selecting it will challenge me to a game. Oh, while you're at it, while we're at it, why don't we have you throw down the gauntlet, Mr. SSS Leader? Sure, why not? So, Lloyd's gonna play Pom Pom Party. It's kind of like Puyo Puyo. I suppose it'd also be fair to compare it to columns in this early iteration. You're going to want to build chains. like this. There is a strategy to this. Yeah, pulled out a win. That was actually pretty fun. You played like you were really getting into it. This is just my impression from watching over your shoulder, but is it just me, or is Chief Roberts kind of bad at this? Considering he's on the same level as a total beginner, despite developing the game, I'd say he's pretty pathetic. He was probably going easy on me, right? After all, it wouldn't be much of a test if the two players weren't similarly skilled. Special support section, this is... Wow, what a match. That's going to be one for the history books. My heart's still racing. Well, there goes my theory. He was definitely giving it his all. So, how are the test results? Perfect. The connection within the city had no latency and the signal was stable. I would say it's a rousing success. Really? Glad to hear it. Remember, you only have the beta version, but I'll update it to the full release eventually. Once that happens, you'll be able to face off against far more opponents than just myself. I really appreciate it if you played with as much people as you could after that. And don't think I'll take this lying down. I'll get my revenge one day. You just wait. I hope you'll go easy on me. Anyway, thanks again for your help today. I'm sure we'll have other jobs to get to, so I'll let you go for now. I'd say that went well. Good job, Lloyd. It was certainly a request befitting Chief Roberts. You're telling me. It sounds like we can play that game whenever we want. Think you will have time what it takes to become Crossbell's next Pom Master, Lloyd? I have a strong hunch that Tio's going to hang on to that title. Still, it might be fun to get some practice in while taking a break from work. And that's... all the support requests. Honestly, considering what I'm going to do next is going to be a lot of story, is going to be heavy story progress, it would be best to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on Trails to Azure, as I go talk to a shady woman in a less than legitimate exchange shop to further the plot and get some information. But until then, I am the Dark Seraph, signing off.